right. Today is May 1st, which is the beginning of Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is also the kickoff for video series that we're going to do to inform our public in our community about different options they have as they take care of individuals in their family that might have special needs. And a lot of this information is going to cross over to other individuals with special needs. And so we're just today we're going to talk about the ABLE account. We're going to do a two-part series. Today we're going to talk about the ABLE account, and joining us is Toretta King, and she'll talk about the ABLE account, and then next month we'll talk about the Special Needs Trust. So the reason why, Toretta, just so you know, the reason why we're doing this is because we feel it's important for individuals to know what's out there. And as people are trying to prepare for the future of their loved ones, a lot of this information just isn't out to specifically, middle class, minority families. And so we want to make sure that we're helping those families get assistance and know where to go to get information. And so thank you for joining us today. And so this is the inaugural of Caring for Mental Illnesses video series. And so you're our first person to come on. So thank you for that. You're kind of working through all of, right? You're going to be working through all of the quirks and kinks that we have to work out. So why don't you, obviously without disclosing your specifics, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved and know some information about the ABLE account?
I am a mother of 4, and one of my 4 has special needs. And so, just as she's gotten older, we have learned more and more, and just trying to make sure that she, regardless of whether or not we are here, and able to take care of her, that she has the means to be taken care of.
Okay, great. All right, so we're here to talk about the ABLE account. And so what is your understanding of that?
It's a special trust account for disabled individuals that they're able to put aside money for they can have this money that's put aside for them. And there's different ways that they can, obtain money. It could be from an inheritance, it could be just a gift from somebody. And many disabled individuals are on public assistance, meaning Social Security. And they only allow for, when you're on those public assistance programs, they only allow for so much in assets that you can have before you don't qualify to get the monthly cash aid or the medical assistance and healthcare that you need. So these CalAble accounts are there that allows them to have money that is not counted in their assets, and they can have that if they need, any special purchases for their care or any needs like that they have. This CalAble account allows for that.
All right, thank you. I just want to let everyone know that Mrs. King is in California, so she's referring to it as CalAble. And the overall arching is the ABLE account, so don't get confused about that. And that even if you're not in California, you too could potentially take advantage of the ABLE account. Can you tell us a little bit about how you found out about this CalAble account?
Well, my husband and I had some concerns because we had, my daughter had some money that she was going to have. And she was turning of the age of 18. We're not discussing it now. We're in the process of researching getting a conservatorship for her because of her disability. And while researching that and looking for somebody to help us get the documentation filed, we were discussing, all of the scenarios relating to her. And actually, a lawyer told us that the CalAble account was an option that we could do because we didn't want her to lose out on the benefits that they offer for a disabled individual. Which I was happy to have talked to him because we didn't know about the CalAble accounts prior to that, and we had been doing some research. But so our plan was not to apply for SSI for disabled individuals because we didn't think that she would qualify with the money that we had set aside for her. And with that, it's actually it was also a no cost option for us. The other option is setting up like a trust. And there are some trusts that you can do, but those can cost a lot of money with getting the trust set up with the lawyer fees that you need and would have to incur to do that. So that could cut into the money that you were setting aside for them to have. And we also looked into it further. He didn't have all the information. So once I had the information on Able account, I just started researching that information to figure out what I needed to do to get it set up.
All right. So what I heard is that you actually, even in all of your research for your daughter, you hadn't really come across information about the Able account. And it was through conversations that you happened upon the information by talking to a lawyer, and that this option could, would you say that in your conversation it was exponentially less or just a cheaper option than trying to establish some other type of trust?
To me, I thought it was exponentially less because it would cost several $1,000s to set up the trust.
Now, was this something that you were able to do on your own, or did you have to, since the lawyer was the one that kind of led you down this path of the Able account, did you continue to go through him?
No, I actually was able to do it myself. So he put the name out there of an Able account and didn't tell me specifically it was CalAble. He just mentioned Able account, which the government established this, I guess, these funds so that states could set these up. Each individual state can name it or controls exactly the parameters around their Able accounts. So it could be called something a little bit different, but like you said, I'm referring to CalAble because that's for the state of California. And in California, there is a website. In my research, I found the website and then just started reading the information that it offered. In California, which I believe is probably universal, you have to establish that they are disabled. One of the stipulations for this type of account is they are disabled before their 26th birthday. And so all of that was applied to my daughter, and I just went online, and you can enter and basically apply for the account online. I think it asks you like a few questions. You just have to set it up. The accounts can be set up by the individual themselves, or it can be like an authorized legal representative. And, that could be a parent. It could be somebody appointed by the courts or something like that. So you just have to have some sort of legal representation over the individual that you're setting it up for and be looking out for their best interests.
Thank you. What I did find is that this Able account is fairly new, that Congress passed the Able Act in 2014, which gave people, and it stands for Achieving a Better Life Experience. and it is a savings via a tax-free account. You touched on what the qualifications were. So it was saying that the conditions, hold on, I have that information. You said most of them. That for children to be able to qualify, like you said, they had to have been diagnosed with their disability by their 26th birthday, and the condition must be expected to last at least 12 consecutive months. They must be receiving benefits under um, uh, supplemental income or Social Security disability insurance. And if they don't have that, then they need to get some type of certification from a doctor. So that's just some additional information. And I did have the account I highlighted, but I can't find that right now. It was kind of like, oh, Able Now. So ABLE Now. People can go to that website and find out more information. And, I would suggest, seeking legal advice if they're unsure. I am reading information from a website. I got some of my information from www.herwealth.com. It's a blog by Dawn Dobler, and she's a senior wealth advisor. And so she had some information on that site, is where I'm reading the information to go alongside with what you said. So you kind of already answered why you chose the ABLE account. One, it was less expensive option than referring to a trust. It would not impede her ability to qualify for additional benefits.
Yes.
Or am I clear in saying that you still did apply for other benefits because she was able to have this ABLE account?
Yeah, you can still apply for, you have to disclose that information, but I was still able to apply for the Social Security disability benefits for her. There are limits. So the up to $100,000 is what does not impede their ability to receive the SSI. If they have more than that amount in the account, then they wouldn't apply until that portion of their income is consumed.
So now, from your understanding, because the article did mention $100,000, but it didn't say that was kind of the max. Now, is that just the amount that the account can hold at one time? Or because what I was reading is that it could pay for transportation, employment training, assistive technology, personal support, healthcare expenses, financial management and administrative services, and other expenses that help improve their health and independence and quality of life. So it cannot have more than $100,000 at once?
Right. So it can't have more than $100,000 at once. So at that point, if it goes over that at one point, then it impacts their qualifications for the supplemental income program. Eddie, you can consume the money and deposit to the account. It's all for California. I'm just saying from my experience, it's all online. So then you also, if you're expecting some sort of check or things like that, I did have to establish like a credit union account and the CalAble account, you can link it to that. And so, if you were getting a large sum of money, let's say $5,000, you would deposit into the general savings or checking account that you have. And then you have to have it linked to this CalAble account, and then you can transfer it into that account and secure it in that manner.
Okay. And so, so anybody can, in your understanding, because I'm not a professional and neither you are you, you're just someone that is being able to take advantage of this service for your child. Can anyone, you can essentially get a check from anywhere as a gift for her and put it into that, or do you know of any restrictions?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say where the money is coming from, or give any restrictions that I'm aware of where the money is coming from. There are annual restrictions on how much you can deposit to the account. So you can, like I said, the max to not interfere with SSI disability benefits is 100,000 at one point. And annually it's $15,000 that you can deposit into the account. So those, you have to, follow those guidelines. And if you are getting SSI benefits for a disabled individual, then they also, will expect to receive statements and things like that of that nature. And you must disclose it when you're qualifying or recertifying for those benefits.
So from what I am hearing, it's your understanding that you just can't have more than $100,000 at one point. But if you're consuming that money, like paying for housing or expenses, as that money is going in, and no more than $15,000 per year, that money can keep going in there. You could keep utilizing it, and then it doesn't negatively impact some of the social benefits that she's receiving.
Correct.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you. I think that you have helped me understand this process more. I thank you for taking the time out to talk to us about the ABLE account and your experience, giving our listeners and viewers the ability to go out and research it for themselves, because we're not giving them legal advice or financial advice, but we're just wanting our community to know that there are options out there for them to be able to save money and accumulate money for the one that they're taking care of without negatively impacting their their Social Security or disability insurance. So I really appreciate that. One thing I found that it said that the potential downside, and I don't know if you know this, but I was reading and it said one of the potential downsides was that in the event that the person that you're taking care of should pass away, that any balance in the ABLE account could be recaptured by the government to repay Medicaid expenses. However, that would only happen after the family is able to take care of any final, expenses involved in that thing. So that was one of the downsides that the article had said that was of this particular account.
Yeah, I mean, they allow you to set it aside in so that you're able to take care of that individual. But I have known that for those public assistance programs, if you have money, they want to be repaid for those.
Yeah.
But in this case, since she had a little bit of money that we wanted to make sure that she was able to benefit from, we did take that risk for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, again, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your time in helping us kind of spread the word to our viewers and listeners. And thank you for being a part of the inaugural video series that we're going to be putting on under Caring for Mental Illness. And although that ours is specifically for mental illness, there are services and benefits out there that it is an umbrella for all special needs. And so we want to, just be able to help because that's one of our mottos: caring for you, caring for me, caring for us. So I really appreciate you, and I hope that you have a great evening.
Thanks for having me. Love ya. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.